The state is preparing to reintroduce dozens of wolves in Colorado after voters approved that decision back in 2020.
Now, one rancher in the western part of our state is working to understand the impact that's going to have.
And News 5's Caroline Peters shows us how both sides are really trying to find a solution together. Caroline.
Good morning, Ira Bree. It's an unusual partnership. Rancher Don Gittleson out of Walden working with a non-profit group known as the Working Circle to find coexistence between humans, wolves, and livestock. Here's the story.
It's more than their passion for an animal, for their cattle or their horses or their sheep.
Rancher Don Gittleson comes from a family who raised horses. And now he works to protect his cattle from wolves.
It's also their livelihood. That's something that a lot of people maybe don't necessarily understand.
He believes there's a disconnect between ranchers and wolf advocates, something he's hoping to change. Which is why he's invited people like VARDAMAN to his ranch.
He decided to use this as an opportunity and to reach across the aisle to the wolf advocacy side. And I've never seen anything like that before, personally.
Which is why I invited a lot of the stakeholders to come here, especially the ones that weren't in the ranching side of it, because they haven't been here to see what this situation is, and they really don't understand the livestock industry at all.
After losing some of his cattle to wolves who have migrated here, Gittleson realized he needed to start working with people on the other side of things.
But we need to come together as people.
The Working Circle is a nonprofit that works to support ranch families and wolves to coexist. They've been volunteering their time to help Gittleson. So far, about 20 volunteers have taken overnight shifts on the ranch to keep an eye on the livestock.
They're calm, they're settled.
While these volunteers are passionate about gray wolves returning to the landscape, they also want to get to know the rancher.
I often say it's not a cow problem or wolf problem, it's a people issue. And in Colorado, we have an opportunity to finally get it right, but we need to focus on what it is we want. Those guys are easy to see.
Human presence, an electric fence, and lights are all tools being used to keep the wolves away.
Something Mr. Gittleson plans to use in the future is utilize these wild donkeys as guard animals to help protect his livestock from the wolves.
They have a lot of wild donkeys that don't have a home and that have probably been used to predators.
Gittleson appreciates the help, but he knows these are all temporary solutions. Several groups, including the National Wildlife Federation and Defenders, are working with him to find long-term solutions.
And that's really focusing on the cattle, trying to reduce vulnerability in the cattle to predation.
While they do support ranchers, those at the Working Circle hope to see the state's environment benefit from the reintroduction of wolves.
That the fact that they keep ungulates, elk, deer, on the move, and their grazing practices, it's healthier for the land and the soil, and it allows plants to recover.
Their hope is for humans, wolves, and livestock to coexist, all while learning from one another.
These are real people we're talking about on both sides and trying to create that greater understanding.
I don't see this getting to be a working plan that's going to actually work if both sides don't learn how to understand each other a little bit better.
Reporting in Walden, Caroline Peters, News 5.